Hi, everyone. I wanted to call an impromptu kind of little Zoom training just on long-term mindset, because I think that as a company and definitely me as a leader, I'm always talking about short-term goals, like 3 months to diamond, but we're not looking at what comes after that. And me and Eric were talking, and he said, well, what kept you in the game? Because a lot of times people will run, hit a goal and burn out and be like, okay, I hit that goal. But because they haven't programmed their mind to be thinking about a goal further along, they're kind of like, oh, I've made that now. And like that's it. And I'm done. So I think it's kind of like rewiring to think, when you started, like, what was it that really got you about it? Because for me, like looking back, I was thinking, the day I started, I was like, in my mind, immediately, I was like, this is forever. So my long term was the 4-year career. So that's that book. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be retired in 4 years. I just need to put in the work. And Eric and I were talking a little bit about how, especially our generation, there's a lot of like people in our generation who like very simple short-term results and don't really put a lot in. I was included in that. Like I wasn't brought up to be like, I'm going to put in a lot of hard work and it's going to be over time. I'm like, I want instant results, because that's just of our generation. So we've got to kind of adopt that mindset of the generation before us to become real entrepreneurs, because I do believe a lot of people within our community don't see themselves as entrepreneurs. It's like, oh, we're just like selling some stuff. So that's like one level, right? But we need to level up a lot more levels from the mindset of just, okay, I'm going to sell ULT. It's like, this is the opportunity that this is that you can have financial freedom in a matter of years. Think Allison and Jared, in just 3 years, they're making a lot of money. Like, I know how much they earn. And it's just 3 years, but look at the perseverance of these two. It's never like a case of like, oh, I don't think I'm going to show up today. Even when they're out on family outings, like they will do calls. So how do they maintain that without being like, oh, like I just want a day off, or like procrastinate? Because we can all do it, like myself included. I'll have days where I procrastinate, and then I go back to that agreement I made with myself at the beginning of like, this is legitimately the best way that I can see out of this. And I want to better myself. I want to break out of that mindset that's kept me really small for a long time, you know, because I was born into a family, and yeah, they're like successful musicians and they're top of their game in music, but they're not financially abundant because they have blocks. So they're passed down to me, right? They're passed down to us. Like, they put limitations on what we can do and have based on their own, but that's not actually our belief. It's been passed down. So we need to break that coding that has been passed down onto us. And to do that, we need to start to shadow the really successful people. So Eric says to me, like, look at your, sorry, I'm just letting some people in. Look at your circle. Like, who are the people you hang out with in the most? What kind of mentality do they have? Do they have like, do they have poverty mentality? Do they have scarcity mentality? Are they trying to better themselves? Are they business people? Are they like actively trying to build business? Have they got a long-term goal? Like, this is how big it really is. Like, you've got to get real clear on that. So that's part of the reason when I realized, wow, it really is the people you surround yourself with. So I don't want to be around people who enable me not to work hard. So that's part of the reason I've left my mountain place in Asheville, which is wonderful. And I did healing, but I wanted to move myself straight back into the city of Charlotte, which is the second financial capital district of the whole of America. It's tiny. I don't know how it is, but because people here, they're go-getters, they have abundance mindset. And I want to literally surround myself with those people because I want that mindset. And it's something I'm having to learn. You know, we're having to learn that because I don't have that. I'm moving myself into that posture. And that posture does mean certain things. And there's a book that I've been reading called Think and Grow Rich. I know a bunch of you have it, but I wanted to share a quick video of the 10 points of that. And then we can kind of talk over those. I'm just going to share my screen. And this is the author, Napoleon, and his 10 points, and then he like summarizes them. So it's not very long, but if you want to write down the 10 points as we go, this will be, just let me know you can hear it.
Popular American author.
He wrote the book
think and grow rich. He's Napoleon Hill, and here are her top 10 tools for success.
A definite purpose must be accompanied by a definite plan for its attainment, followed by appropriate action. Now, you have to have a purpose, you have to have a plan, and you have to start putting that plan into action. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not too important that your plan be sound. It is, in fact, it's not too important. Because if you find that you've adopted a plan that's not sound, that's not working, you can always change. You can modify your plan. But it is very important that you be definite about what it is you're going after, what your purpose is. That must be very definite.
Learn to adjust yourself to other people's state of mind and difficulties so as to get along peacefully with them and to refrain from taking notice of trivial circumstances in your relations with other people by refusing to allow them to become controversial incidents. Great people always avoid small incidents of controversy when possible.
If you want the mind to pick up an idea and to form a habit so that the mind will automatically act upon that idea, you've got to tell the mind what you want over and over and over again. No end to it. When Mr. Coué came over here some years ago with his famous formula, day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better, he cured thousands of people, but a very great number more than that he didn't cure. And I wonder if you would know why. There was no desire, there was no feeling put into that statement. You might just as well blow in the wind as to make a statement unless you put some feeling back of it, unless you believe it.
Procure a neat pocket-sized notebook. Well, something on the order of this one here, loose leaf affair. And on page 1, write down a clear description of your major desire in life. The one circumstance or position or thing which you will be willing to accept as your idea of success. And remember before you begin writing that your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you. And 2, on page 2 of your notebook, write down a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give in return for that which you desire from life. And then start in right where you stand now to begin giving. And 3, memorize both of your statements, what you desire and what you intend to give in return for it. And repeat them at least a dozen times daily. And always end your statements with this expression of gratitude for the blessings with which you were gifted at birth.
Any dominating desire, plan, or purpose which is backed by that state of mind known as faith is taken over by the subconscious section of the mind and acted upon immediately. I don't know for sure, ladies and gentlemen, but I suspect that there's a relatively small number of people in the world at any one time who understand the principle of faith, who really understand it and know how to apply it. And even if you do understand it, if you don't back it up with action and make it a part of your habit life, you might just as well not understand it. Because faith without deeds is dead. Faith without action is dead. Faith without absolute positive belief is dead. I don't know how you're going to get any results through believing unless you put some action back of that belief. And incidentally, if you tell your mind often enough that you have faith in anything, the time will come when your subconscious mind will accept that, even if you tell your mind often enough that you have faith in yourself. Had you ever thought what a nice thing it would be if you had such complete faith in yourself that you wouldn't hesitate to undertake anything you wanted to do in life? Had you ever thought what a benefit that would be to you?
Your personality determines whether people are attracted to you or shy away from you. It is the show window in which you display your character to the world, and it is the one thing which distinguishes you from all other human beings. It is your trademark by which people recognize you, and it is the thing which determines your success or failure in selling yourself through life. Therefore, you should see your personality just as others see it, so you may improve it where it needs improvement.
If you would sit down and put an hour by hour account of the actual work that you put in each day for 1 week, and then an hour by hour account of the time that you waste that you could devote to anything you want to if you wanted to, badly enough, you're going to get one of the shocks of your life. We're not efficient. You know, you have 3 hours, about 8 hours to sleep, and about 8 hours to earn a living, and have 8 hours of free time that you can do anything that you want to with here in this country where we live. And then definiteness of purpose makes one more alert in recognizing opportunities related to the object of one's major purpose. And it inspires the courage to embrace and act upon those opportunities. And now, we all see opportunities almost every day of our lives, which, if we embraced them and acted upon them, could benefit us. But there's something in us that we call procrastination. We just don't have the will, the alertness, the determination to embrace opportunities when they come along. But if you condition your mind with this philosophy, you'll not only embrace opportunities, but you'll do something better. What could you do better than embrace an opportunity? Make the opportunity. That's the idea.
Success is something which has to be planned, and success is something which has to be earned in advance. True, there is such a thing as luck, but just remember that luck is something you can create for yourself if you know the rules and follow them just as I give them to you. Remember, too, that success in the higher brackets of achievement is something that can be had only by taking others along with you. And the best definition of success, which I know, is this. Success is the knowledge with which to get whatever you want from life without violating the rights of others and by helping others to acquire it.
The very minute that you decide upon something, you know that's what you want, you know you're going to do it. All of these negatives that have been bothering you, they pick up their baggage and get out. They just move out. They can't live in a positive mind. Can you imagine a negative frame of mind and a positive frame of mind occupying the same space at the same time? Could you imagine that? No, you can't, because it can't be done. And did you know that the slightest bit of a negative mental attitude is sufficient to destroy the power of prayer? Did you know that the slightest bit of a negative mental attitude is sufficient to destroy your plan, whatever it is you're doing, carrying out your definiteness of purpose? You have to move with courage, with faith, with determination in connection with carrying out your definiteness of purpose.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Isn't that a profound statement? You will notice that it says nothing about the need for education, but simply that whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can achieve. Now, if you want evidence that the mind can achieve whatever the mind can conceive without the benefit of formal education, you only have to remember that Thomas A. Edison conceived the idea of becoming an inventor and lived to become the world's greatest scientist in the field of invention with only 3 months of common school education.
Thank you so much for watching. I made this video because business asked me to. So if there's a famous entrepreneur that you want me to profile next, leave it in the comments below and I'll.
Okay, sorry, that did me well. What did you guys think of that video? Put a 1 if any of that resonated with you. Okay, cool. Yay. Awesome. So lots of those points are so interesting because though it's like very old, right? So a lot of his language is different to what we use today. So when I'm hearing certain words he's saying, I'm relating them to new words that we use. But does anyone want to share what they took from any of those? Like any of those specifically resonate? If not, I can just like briefly go over them, but yes? Victoria, please share, babe.
So the one that like when he said it, I was like, oh my God, because when like with the positive and negative can't exist at the same time, because I feel like that was just like such an epiphany moment for me with like self-doubt. Like it's like you have to, what was that? I think that one was move with courage and determination that he said that in. And that's just like, it's everything. Like it just makes so much sense now. And I feel like it's gonna help me so much going forward with any of the self-doubt.
I'm so glad. It's like sometimes we just need to hear it in a different way, but it's true. A negative mindset and a positive mindset, they can't work together. So like, what do we do when we're finding ourselves in a negative mindset? So it's very difficult to be able to move forward with integrity and in alignment with your business when you're having an off day. So I'm going to go in a little bit after this discussion, how I get into alignment. If I'm feeling out, like I can't reach out to people when I'm doubting myself. Like I don't want to post. I don't want to do anything because it's not created with the right energy and vibration. So I'm going to share what I do to get myself into that place where just like step by step from a negative or a self-doubt place, just straight back up into, okay, like this is where we're going. But it's true, they can't exist together. So it's very important that we're able to always be aware of how we're feeling. Like when we're posting, are we in a good place? Like when we're reaching out, are we thinking of their best alignment? If we can imagine this person already healed, when we reach out to them, like this is going to be so, I already see you as this glowing, radiant being, we're much more likely to get a successful yes from this person because we're already envisioning it as happen. That's the power of a mind. But thank you. That's so good. I'm so glad that resonated. And Chloe, what do you want to say, babe?
Yeah, kind of just to add on that, because like, yesterday, like I was having a really bad day and we were talking through that. And then like, just from talking about it, I just turned that into like, okay, I'm just going to channel this into like reaching out to loads of people because talking to you made me feel so much better. So after that, I connected with 45 new people. So it was kind of like alchemizing that pain, but actually just like talking to you, having a cry and just really feeling it and just allowing myself to get upset and allowing myself to feel it rather than going into my hole, like you said, or like just procrastinating or whatever. I just like let it all out, dealt with it. And then I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something now and like alchemize it. And then another thing that really resonated was like your only limit is yourself, because like this business, because we're our own bosses, like so many obstacles come up, like almost every day there's an obstacle, but I've learned to just pause for a second and say, this isn't my fault. It's so easy to take everything personally, when someone has a complaint or someone's like just whatever that comes along. And now like I've just learned to just pause, breathe and just say, this isn't my fault. This isn't my fault, but I can help to offer a solution. So yeah, that was just my take from that.
Oh, I love it. And Chloe, you did the right thing. So many people, when they're having a down day and they're in overwhelm, like we all do, oh my God, I'd be the first to admit it. You didn't disappear. You reached out. And that is the number one thing. So many of us self-sabotage by just hiding. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm just going to hide. I'm not going to do anything. But if we can just talk about it, it can change everything. And I like in your day yesterday where you turn this pain into like fire, as I shared with you that day yesterday when I went through a horrific breakup, and 2 days later Eric called me and he's like, you can hit green this month. And I'm lying in bed like, what? Like and he was like, okay, you can be pathetic right now, or you can turn that into, he didn't use the word pathetic, but like it's a choice, right? You can lie there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can turn this into, okay, this is shit, but I have complete control over this thing. I have complete control over my business. And that's something I can control right now. And I'm going to be fucking great at it. So I launched into action from despair. And that's what you did yesterday. And it's like, that's the best thing we can do. Launch it, just speak to someone like back and forward, and then realize that some things you can't control, but some things you can. And that gives you that purpose again. It's like, okay, I'm going to feel good from this avenue. And like you said about non-reaction, yesterday for me as well, I emailed someone about the Green Friday, and she just replied, no thanks. And my initial thing was like, oh, what? And then very quickly I've got myself to be like, it's just not for her. That's okay. I wish her so much love. It's not right for her now. And before, at the beginning, I might have been a lot more like, oh, I emailed you, it's such a nice email, and like all this like story that you play out, but it's not personal. This is business. You have to look at everything like a business thing. It's never personal. So it's shifting them. I know we're all very feeling empathic beings, which makes it a different element to this, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't have that. They're all logic, because they're like, emotion does not serve me in this game at all. Whereas I say emotion can definitely serve us here. we can use that for really good things, but we've just got to be mindful that we don't take things personally. But thank you for that share, Chloe. That's so good. I'm so glad to feel that you're feeling better. And that call we did last night was fire. So you pulled it out of the bag, right? You pulled it out of the bag. That's amazing. Thank you, babe. And Harley, babe, what did you take?
So I definitely took away from, I feel like, everything, but to believe in myself, I feel like has been the hardest. To just know that I'm capable, know I can do it, and that I got this, and just to trust in myself and have definite purpose, and, you know, just keep telling myself that.
Yes, you do. You know this, and I see this in you. That's the thing. We're the last people to see it in ourselves. And sometimes, obviously, even I will have a time where I'm like, maybe it's not for me. And then I go to Eric, and Eric's like, I've seen it from you from day one. And you just need to hear that sometimes to get you back in. So that's why community in this is key. We keep each other accountable. I don't think I'd be here if I didn't have people around me. Like, it's a very difficult game if you're just trying to do it. A lot of people do. And that just comes with that self-motivation, that long-term goal, that idea that I'm in this for the long run. How can I stay in the game? How can I not lose focus? How do I believe in myself when forever I've been programmed not to believe in myself and that I can't do this? So much of this is just absolutely changing the way that you think about yourself and your capabilities. I'd like to share too. I was speaking to Eric, and he was like, okay, Alice, think ideally how much you'd like to make in a month. And I thought about it, and he's like, double it. And suddenly that voice came in like, oh my God, okay. And then he was like, okay, cool, double it again. And I was like, whoo. And then he was like, yeah, I bet that felt quite triggering. And I was like, okay, it felt quite triggering, but I can do it. I can fucking do that. Like, if anyone else can, why can't I do that? So he was like, that's where you are. Your mindset is you're going to make that much a month. And just to tell you guys, that went up to 20K. And that, for like most people, that's probably not even that much. And I'm sure mine will rise as my belief in myself rise. But I'm like, 20K a month. He's like, think, what could you do with that? How would your life be different? So I want you guys all to write down on a piece of paper how much you want to make a month, double it and double it again. And look at that and really sit there with it and be like, how would my life be different? Would it be different? Would I change anything? How would I hold myself? What would I do more of if I had that mindset? So it's about putting ourselves forward, projecting ourselves into that place where we are already that successful and feeling it. So you can sit and hold your heart in meditation and be like, oh, that feels good. I wouldn't worry about that. I'd always just buy the most expensive organic food. I'd fly first class. Maybe I'd stay in the same house. I love my house. Like, I don't really need to move. But like, how much stress would be alleviated? Yeah, that was mine, Dan. So you're going to double it to 10 and double it again to 20. So you're on 20K a month. So we're going to start walking around with that posture. It's all about throwing yourself into a place and beginning to believe it, which is why at the beginning of the call, I was saying, I'm now moving to Charlotte because I'm going to surround myself with extremely successful, very, very rich entrepreneurs. Because I want it that bad. I want to shift out of this. For me, like, we're all self-growth junkies here, right? This is about personal development as much as it is anything else. And imagine if we could literally switch the whole trajectory of our childhood conditioning. Because maybe we don't all have the same conditioning, but I was brought up in a household of, you know, we can't do that and we shouldn't do that and you can't make that and those beliefs. And I'm like, wait a minute. But I've learned from the people I'm hanging out with here that you can come from nothing and get everything. You don't need to go to school. It's a decision. And then I look at the work ethic of these people, right? And they're absolutely nonstop. It's decided. That's why I like number 8, success must be planned. It has been decided. It's not even just planned. It's like, okay, I'm retired in 4 years. Let's go. It's an absolute decision. No one can stop that. And when you decide that, write that down, literally, guys, it's going to happen. And I've got to say, I wasn't ever like this before, ever. So that proves to me that it can happen. I'm really sorry, Angela, you had your hand up too. Did you still want to share a point?
Sure. Good morning.
Yeah.
I love it, Alice. Thank you so much. Yeah, for me, it was believing yourself and the subconscious. I've been working a lot with my subconscious, and I don't know that your call last night. Thank you so much, Mark's launching call. That was fabulous. So that really got me going again, knowing like, why I'm doing this, and because I had kind of been hiding, and then I went live with Eric, and I don't know, I just feel so uncomfortable going live. And then I did 2 videos and I didn't have the right lighting, and I don't know, but yeah, definitely subconscious, because every time I go to do something else, it like knocks me down. So a lot of like beliefs and stuff are holding me back. So I just keep working through that.
You're doing amazing. And it's not an overnight thing, Angela. It's not like we can go from here to suddenly being a professional network marketer and everything's brilliant. This is just like putting down the foundations of understanding of the mindset that it takes by shadowing those people. And it's so good that you're going live. It doesn't matter about the lighting. It doesn't matter. It's about you going live and speaking your truth and feeling empowered. It's the energy it generates when you do it. That's why we do it more. So we like have that belief. And when we speak from our heart with so much passion, that like ripples. People feel it, and then people believe it. So that's why it's so cool. It's like conceive, believe, achieve. You have to conceive something to believe it. So it's like, but I prefer the idea of you believe it first and then it will happen. So you can't like wait for results to happen. You're not like, okay, I'll believe I can do this when I'm green diamond. No, it's like, I believe I am already a crown leader. Like I believe I see it. I see me on stage in 3 years' time. It's happening, and then it will start to follow. So it's actually flipped. You have to believe it. You have to know it's going to happen. It's like exciting. Like when you think about it, it's like exciting. It's like, oh my God, like I'm actually going to do this. Okay, what can I do? What can I do? Like, how can you do this more? Shadow Eric more. Shadow the leaders more. Watch Sonia McGruger, see how they work, really feel their energy, their posture. How do they hold themselves? It's so much about embodying that. And that's something I've learned. Because I was saying to Eric, I feel like there's a shift that needs to happen within me, because I'm such a, like people look at me maybe and think, oh, she's just like a hippie. Like she doesn't really have that business thing. And I'm like, no, but I want that. I want people to take me more seriously, so I can incorporate that I am spiritual, but I want to be taken more as someone that people will want to do business with. So present myself and my feed and my posture in a way that big players will be like, I take this girl seriously. I want to run with her. Because for so long, it's like, I feel like I was missing that next step where I'm green and I'm doing me and it's really great. And I'm like la-di-da and I'm playing and I'm dancing all the time, which is very important. But it was lacking that business side, the side of like, I'm serious about up-leveling myself. Like I'll do whatever it takes. Who wants to do this? And with that energy, the people that we need to build our business with us will feel that through what I'm saying, through my words. They'll be like, yeah, this girl is serious. Okay, I want to run with her. Do you see what I mean? So when we up level our posture is when we'll find people who are really serious about this. Dan, I'm having trouble. People don't trust because of my style.
Yeah, kind of landed on a plane.
Okay, so it's kind of what I was talking about, Dan. Like, it's that thing. It's all personal work, right? We're always doing it. It's that putting yourself in that position, sitting, meditating on it, seeing yourself already as the red diamond crown leader. How would you be different? Like, how are you going to attract those people? How does it feel to have that? How does it feel to have a team of 50 brand partners who are solid running? How do you have to show up differently? It doesn't mean change who you are. It means embody the successful person avatar. So it's all an energy thing, and you're doing incredibly because you're doing the work, you're taking the foods, you're completely changing your life. You've gone sober, you're like doing yoga, you're completely changing. People see that you're serious. You're not just dipping in and out. They're like, this guy's serious on a road to change. That's a really attractive, incredible thing. And that energy will carry itself. So don't lose faith. Remember, you have the vision, which is where I want to lead to, which is, what is our long-term vision? Because I bring on so many brand partners and we talk short term, and I'm like, I'm doing people a disservice. Not everyone starts and has that same thing as me where I'm like, nothing's going to stop me. Not everyone does, and I forget that. So we need to start writing down, figuring this out. The 4-year career, how many years till we're retired? Like, do we really want this to be do we see ourselves as worthy enough of having an empire as big as Eric's? How many people are feeling triggered by that? Like, I don't know if I believe that yet. Do you believe that? Put a 1 if you are still like feeling a bit like, I don't know if I can do that. You can be honest. Harley, yes, you will. Exactly. Yes, you will. But, you know, it's kind of, okay, Angela, that's cool. Yeah, Allison and Jared, they're doing it because they're already there. They're already there. They're like, nothing's going to stop us. But for a lot of us, that sounds like a big leap. It's like, okay, big, but you've got to start believing it, which is where the work comes in, where we use these 10 points that we were just looking at on that video. We write down our goal, like our goals, and how we're going to help people and how we're going to give back when we hit those goals. Like, what are we doing it for? And just making that decision. And in order to do that, in order to really be able to do that, like we were talking about earlier, oh, sorry, Angela, it's difficult being an empath and sensitive. I mean, you could say that, or you could say, it's really going to help me being an empath and sensitive. I feel like that's really going to help me on this journey because I can help people better. I can read people better. Are you going to empower yourself or limit yourself with your belief around who you are? You got to use it as a superpower, right? It's a gift. Yeah, it's a gift. And I wanted to launch a little bit now into the most powerful law for this work, which is the law of attraction. And whether you are new to that or you've been looking at it for a little while, it is such an important part of this. It's the art of everything you want is already in your field, but you're blocking it with your resistance, with your fears, with the like, I'm not good enough, I can't do it. It's literally trying to come to you. All the money, all the success, everything that you ever want is waiting to come in, but we are the only things blocking that. So it's releasing the resistance so that we can be receptive to those things. That's what the law of attraction is. Taking conscious action steps. When we're in that place of alignment and we're like, you know, that time when you feel really good and you're vibrating and you're like, oh, I feel pretty unstoppable in this moment. Everyone's felt that. It's about getting to that point as much as possible by releasing resistance. And from that place, inspired action comes in. You're like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that sounds like really creative. And when we get those hits of inspiration, we should follow those. When we're excited about something, that's what we should follow, because that's leading us to the next thing. So often I'll wake up at 5 a.m. because when we sleep, we have no resistance. We're sleeping. So all the limiting beliefs and the fears and the whatevers, they chill out, they subside. And then sometimes I'll wake up at 5 a.m. before I've had any of the doubts coming in, and I have the most crazy good ideas. I'm like, I need to reach out to that person. Oh my God, why didn't I think of doing that? I'm going to host this event. I'm going to do this cool. This is what I need. This cool was one that came to me at a random time too. I was like, it's just so important that we can speak about mindset in this way. Like, to be a true entrepreneur, you have to be an entrepreneur, not like a salesperson who's too scared to step out of that. This is big picture thinking, like Allison and Jared, big picture thinking. They didn't come into this with that mindset. It was created. Allison will be the first to tell you. I'm sure you all know Allison's story. And with me, I came into this with the worst codependency the world has ever seen. Like, I didn't think I could do anything by myself. So it's literally a decision. It just changes everything. And with the law of attraction, so I wanted to share with you, when you're feeling that place where you're like doubting, you're down, that's a place where you're meeting resistance. And it's about choosing a better feeling thought so we can get to neutrality again. So if we're like, man, like, I'm tired today, I really don't feel like I can do it, this is taking too much. It's like, it is happening for me. I feel it. It's going to be okay. I can feel the resistance moving. It's just using self-soothing techniques. I speak to myself. I'm like, Alice, you've got this. Don't worry about it. It's all going to come to you. You know that in the end, you're going to get there. This is what I want. And when I start speaking to myself like that, I get out of that self-doubt, back into a neutral place, where I can start reaching out to people again, because we don't want to reach out to people when we're in overwhelm, or we're like, oh, I don't know what to say, or stressed, or any of those places. So I just wanted to quickly share a very short video on how we get aligned. And then maybe I'll ask Alison to share, to close, a little bit about how she shifted her mindset, because it's something that she's done. We've got someone who's actually done it. But just to put it into context, this very short video I'm showing you, by Abraham Hicks, they talk about the vortex. And the vortex for me is that place of non-resistance. When you're in the vortex is when you're feeling good, you're feeling positive, you feel like nothing can stop you, you're feeling neutral, you're feeling, you know, like, oh, maybe something good could happen. That place, that's the vortex. That's where we need to be as much as possible. And we get there by being very consciously aware all the time of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, even subconsciously. So it's a great way to start checking in, because the more we can get into the vortex place, the quicker we can grow ourselves. So this is very short last share. And then we will, like I said, take it over to Alison to do a quick share. But this one, just, you can even close your eyes and just listen to it. And I want to see what you get from this, because this, for me, is everything.
One more question. In the work arena, my role is sales and marketing, and I'm wanting to apply this wonderful analogy of the vortex. It's moving the customer from non-vortex into their vortex is really my job.
Well,
yes,
it's brilliant that you're saying that, because you see, if you can get in the vortex and summon them in, your level of performance is going to be unparalleled by anything that you've ever seen. Most people apply their most determined sales techniques from outside the vortex. You know, if you don't buy this, this will happen. And, you know, if you don't do this, this will happen. In other words, they're sort of prodding people into decisions where if you've let your attention to them help you to identify their improved experience relative to whatever it is that you are offering, and you hold the vision of them benefiting from that, and there's no deviation of that in your vibration, you are more influential than millions who don't have that. So the first thing you got to do is get in the vortex and see the value of what you're offering to them.
Awesome.
It is. And others will say, what's your trick? And you say, I believe in what I sell. I believe in its value.
As this recent conversation was happening, I got this surging, you know, the spine tingling feeling, which that's kind of my clue that, you know, I'm really like aligned, or there was some connection with source. And I've found that also when I watch someone sing something beautifully, or I'm singing, and you get that feeling.
You know what that feeling is? That's the feeling of moving into the vortex. In other words, what's happening is you were lurking on the edge, close enough that the universe orchestrated something that you heard that took you in. And that sensation is the moving up your releasing vibration and releasing resistance and raising vibration. That's what that feeling is. When you consistently hang around inside the vortex, it just feels normal to feel aligned. It's more like a feeling of ease. The rushes that you all often feel, that's that feeling of moving from outside the vortex in. And when you think about it, isn't that a pretty nice way to live? It's not such a problem when the vortex spits you out, is it? Because it's so fun getting back in.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'd love to hear what people get from that. But when I hear that and when I feel that, I start getting the tingles, because you need someone to remind you sometimes, right? So when you're getting that good feeling and you get those tingles and you start to feel good, you're moving into that good feeling place, which is where you should do everything from, right? That's what she says is the vortex. And when you help customers and when you help build the vision for them of their possible future, for the brand partners of their possible future in here, you're building them into that same place where they're going to feel so good. And how do they say no from that place of like, when when I say to people, you are literally going to change your life. You're going to be a different person. And you're painting that picture for them. They're getting that tingle too. Like, oh, like, I didn't know that was possible. So we're just leading each other into the vortex. And it's not bad if you fall out. So when you're feeling that self-doubt, it's fun to get back in. That's what they're saying. So it's like, I'm feeling loads of self-doubt today. Put some music on that you love. Music that gets your soul going. Get back into that place. Oh, I'm back in the vortex. It's like this constant game of up and down. Like, oh, I'm out, but I'm back in. Oh, and I've been out for a whole day. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to go for a walk. Oh, I'm back in. It's a game. But I'd love to quickly hear, did that resonate with people at all? Did people, I'm seeing nods, like you felt that, can you feel it? That's why I listened to Abraham Hicks. Bad day, put on some Abraham Hicks. And it's like they're speaking to my soul. I'm like, oh, I forgot for a minute, but we get to decide, right? So that was just about how we can help our customers see the value of what this is. Like when we see the value and we help them see the value, they're going to get that. They're going to be like, oh, I get it. Because you're coming from the, I get it. Like this is everything. So get yourself into that place. Does anyone have any comments on that before Alison comes in to share her wisdom at all? Did that help anyone? Okay, good. Okay, we're getting hands up. But yeah, awesome. Alison, I'd love you to unmute and just share whatever you want to share on this subject too.
First of all, Alice, thank you so much for doing this call. By the way, is it recorded? Okay, awesome. Okay, I, for a year and a half, didn't make it past director. I had no belief in what I saw of people being successful was Melissa Hansen, Sonia McGruber. I didn't resonate with them. I didn't see myself in them. I didn't see myself in Eric or even Taz. I didn't see myself because I was like, they're so next level. I'm just like, I'm an empath. I'm a sensitive. I'm just, and I didn't see myself being this like businesswoman. I didn't see it. I didn't see a possibility. It wasn't until people like Kimberly Sanders and other people that I started seeing that were rising, and I was like, oh, I could do that. Then I became open to reading the books that Eric finally told me to read. And it was only until I got the belief though. See, the belief has to come before you invest into it, into yourself. Because I actually did try to read the books, but before I had my belief and that vision, I wasn't putting the pieces together. Then I read The 4-Year Career, or I think I listened to like an audio, a big portion of it. And that changed my perspective of the way that, how we are meant to really go all in and put a lot more energy than we're receiving at the beginning. Because I didn't understand. That's like a new foreign thing. We're not taught that way of that exchange in like our corporate world. It's all about dollars for hours and instant gratification. So we're not used to extending our energy for like later gratification. But that book helped my perspective so much. And the whole thing is belief. The whole thing is belief. Because if I didn't show up to those calls, I wasn't showing up to all the calls. If I didn't start showing up to the calls, if I didn't show up to all the calls, I wouldn't have seen people like Kimberly Sanders and other people that resonated with me doing this. I would not have that belief in myself, and I wouldn't have the belief in the products. I wouldn't have the belief in Dave and Amy. I wouldn't have the belief in like network marketing. So I had to truly immerse myself in it to get that belief. And I do daily, the same way we have to brush our teeth daily. It is a daily thing for me to get on these calls because I constantly get pulled out of the vortex, right? I just got a message now as we're even on this call. Oh, it was actually as I was listening to Abraham, as you were saying that, a message pops up, some hater trying to sabotage, trying to slander me publicly. And it hurts, right? It's like, ow, I got the jab. If I wasn't on this call and with you guys here, it may have taken me longer to get back into the vortex. But it's all about getting that shorter time of how we are able to bounce back into the vortex. It's all their projection. Yes, Angela, it's all their projection, but it is so easy as empaths, as we all are, to absorb it, right? But that is why we do this daily mindset training, because if I didn't have this, I may have not been able to talk with belief in my heart today. And what would that happen? Then I wouldn't be able to serve people today. I wouldn't be able to serve and hold people the same way you say, the same way Abraham says that you have to have the vision for people before they have the vision for themselves. And we need to truly believe that highest vision that we hold for people. And if there's any doubt, we are not going to convey that. So we have to, if we're having any doubt, that's when we have to double down, immerse ourselves in the training, in the personal development, in the reading, and in the education around what we're doing and around the industry of network marketing. Because yes, we are going to constantly be challenged on that one. That threatens the world, just like healing, self-healing threatens the world right now. We're doing everything it's like we're the triggers right now. We're so triggering the world. And that is such an important, we have to know that we're going to get haters, okay? You're not going to not get haters. Don't ever think you're not going to get haters, okay? Just don't ever think for a second you won't get haters. Expect that you will. Know that you will every day. If you're not getting haters every day, you're not doing something right. There's something you're not doing right. We're going to get haters every single day, and they're going to even come in the form of some family and friends. It's going to hurt even more. But this is my work. I don't care. I'm on a mission. I have the vision. I know that I'm going crown. There's no question. Before, I didn't have that strong vision. It was easy to throw me off. But that's why our vision needs to be so tunnel vision. We are looking up, because where we are looking is where the energy is going to flow. And I am just constantly looking up to where I'm going. If people are hating on me, it'll take me a few seconds to just come. But you know what? That's why we need this community. We need the support. We have our uplines. We need to use the tools. We cannot just suffer in silence. You know, I know Dan always reaches up when he's feeling down. That's amazing. Superhuman. And I know Alice has been having, when she's having a bad day, she reaches up. And that's great. That shows such strength to reach up when you're needing support. So that's my biggest advice, is reach up when you're needing support. Do not suffer in silence. Just don't allow yourself to flounder in the I don't know and disbelief. If you we need to just become, that's it. Like, we need to believe in what we're doing. That is most important, and hold that vision and that space. And yes, it's a decision. Thank you.
Yay, words from the master. I love it, because when I met Alison in this business, she wasn't even here yet. I remember, you were probably really nervous bringing me on, and it was a bit like, I've got a vision, but it wasn't really there. And together actually was when Alison and I solidified that, and everything started to change, because I came on, and for me, it was a non-negotiable straight away. And that strengthened Alison's belief, which is how you guys helped me strengthen mine. Because when we all share this collective belief, it's like unstoppable. So we keep reminding each other, right? We keep reminding each other that we can literally be, do, or have anything that we want. I say it to myself like a crazy person loads of times a day. I'm going to be crown. I'm crown. I have the posture of crown. This is my chosen mission in this lifetime, and by heck, I'm gonna do it well. I'm not gonna let myself down. I don't want to die like, oh, I nearly did it. Oh, I tried my best. No. I can try my best, and it's gonna be there. So I invite you all to join us in this mindset. You guys, you all here want to be in this for the long run. All of you want this. So this is the gold that we're giving you, and that Eric gave to me and Alison gives to me. If you want it, decide, fucking decide, and don't let anything stop you, and keep developing and keep yourself in that vortex. Keep yourself feeling good, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes, make yourself feel good, because when you feel good is when you can offer the good stuff. And surround yourself by very influential people. stay around people that are just so inspiring to you. And you're like, I am that person. I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be better than that person. Like, you just talk yourself into it, soothe yourself. But does anyone feel like they want to share or comment to what Alison said, or just want to declare anything right now? Like, this is an open space before we end this and we go on to the rest of, with 2 days left of the month. That's so much time, by the way, to do crazy, incredible things. Yay, I love it. But any words, anything at all from anyone?
I just love the whole vortex thing. That's like totally my language, because I'm so into energy work and all that. So I just love it. So I guess I just answered my own question, or you guys answered it, but I wasn't getting it. So yeah, it's just staying in the vortex as much as possible and keeping your energy up. So then the haters will just like bounce off of you. I mean, it's still, yeah. So just deciding, you know, and then just knowing that I'm offering them something. I'm not bothering them. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a Jehovah Witness going to somebody's door. No offense to Jehovah Witnesses, but you know, and it's like, no, I need to believe, like Alison was saying, like in myself, in the products, and Dave and Amy. Like, it's just like phenomenal what I have to offer. It's a gift. You know, don't feel like I'm bugging someone. So that was huge. Thank you so much for doing this call. I loved it.
Pleasure. Alison, you unmuted? Did you want to comment?
I had an idea of something. I just wanted to say, like, yeah, just how I don't know why I just feel called to like reiterate belief again, but I'm just like, belief in ourselves and what we're doing is something that you just have to, you know, before you get on a call with anyone, like you have to really you have to get into your belief and get into your belief of them. You have to believe in them and hold that belief in a very meaningful way. That's the truest, best gift we can give anyone, is believing in them.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, Al, but I would catch myself subconsciously before I'd be ready for a call and I'd be like, they're not going to order. They're going to say it's expensive. Like, I'd literally talk myself down and this person down energetically before they had a chance to even hear. So I'd go on like, I'm already freaking out about this. But how about you 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the call, you ground yourself, you get in the vortex, you think about them, you're like, I just can't, they're going to be so, I see them, this glowing self, I see them receiving this with so much love. Oh my goodness, like this is going to be wild. I can't wait to speak to this person. Get yourself hyped. So when you're on the call, you're like, hi, it's so good to meet you. And you literally meet them carrying that energy. So that's something I learned because I just talk myself down. Isn't that weird? But Angela, exactly. You're completely right. It's vortex is a language we can all understand here. And vortex is all it is. Anything you do in the vortex, it's going to be good. That's how we win. But thank you for that, really, that share as well. That's really beautiful. And it's a process and you've just got to solidify that belief every day. And Chloe, what would you like to share, babe?
On mute. I was just talking then and I was on mute. I just want to say thank you so much for this call. Like, it was so amazing and it's just so great to like go into the next month. So we're just like carrying this on. And for me, like, I know that I've been really like focusing on the fast start and hitting the goals and just really kind of like push, go. But that's a very like a short fuse, you know? So I really needed this to just always stay in the belief and just kind of like focus on what I want, but then just kind of let go and just try and stay, like you said, stay in the vortex as much as possible and just give myself and just stay in it think of the long run and the future a lot more. Like, I just really appreciate that. It's just exactly the kind of energy that I needed today and like to move forward. So thank you.
I was so glad I could say that because I was reflecting and I was like, we're always pushing this, but really what we need to look bigger picture. It's like, yes, fast start, but yes to taking care of yourself energetically, and yes to longer goals, and like, what do I need to put down for those longer goals? And nothing has to be so quick. Like, this is a long game, network marketing. Like, we put down foundations over time and then it grows. So we've got to pace ourselves to the long run so we don't hit diamond and burn out, like I've seen many times, because they've just been like, I need diamond. Then it's like, but what's now? Like, so we've got to pace ourselves properly and to take care of ourselves. But Chloe, it's gonna happen. Oh my God. It's just, yeah, I wanted to offer this perspective of, I don't want you guys to just try and go for diamond, because this is a lifetime thing. This is our lifetime thing. You're an entrepreneur. This is your business. So it's not just a diamond and stop. It's a past crown and go on forever and never stop. Eric's not stopped just because he's at a certain goal. He lives for it, but he built himself too. But I just want to thank you all so much for meeting me on this Saturday. I just really wanted to speak on this, and I am going to save this and upload it so you can share it with your people if you think it will resonate with them. But thank you so much for meeting me on Saturday, and for everyone that shared, and for Alison and your very raw perspective. And we just love you all. And I want you all to understand that you can do this. You can do this. Like, I'm not just saying that, like, all of us can do this. So I want to make sure that we have these calls so that we can just get ourselves in the vortex and feel that belief and get fired up from our own being, because no one can give this to you. You give it to yourself. You can give it to yourself. And I just believe in you all. And I want to give you that gift of understanding that what it takes. So I'm going to keep going deeper, and whatever I learn, I want to keep sharing with you, because it's not something that we should keep. We should always keep learning from people. But I love you all, and have a beautiful Saturday. And I will see you all tomorrow for Kind Human Tribe, cool Halloween one. And did you want to say anything, Al, to finish?
Hey, no, thank you so much, and everyone for being here. And thank you so much, Alice, for doing this. And yeah, this is how we get the belief. I just want to make sure everyone knows that we don't get the belief by being in our own head and just be, we get the belief by showing up every single time. So thank you so much, everyone.
I love you, Al. Love you all.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you all
Hi,
tomorrow.
everyone.